Hello everyone, welcome to a new process video. I am working on some layouts here for San Diego, and I actually have one part of this done already. I decided to do a little 3x4 insert between these two pages, and so I put this together prior. I had this cool card with all the matching colors and I wanted to use it with this particular piece of ephemera, so I had that. And then on the back I had this card which I also loved, and I feel like it just fit Coronado Island very, very well. So I wanted to make sure I included it. And of course the colors happen to match. So that will go in between these two. But since it's done already, I'm going to remove it. This is what I have to work on today. So I've got two 4x4s, one 3x4 photo, and then I have to find a card for here. And with my other layouts I've done so far, I haven't done a huge amount of journaling. So I think I'm going to need a journaling card here, not just a filler, because I kind of have that with this already. So I need a journaling card of some type, but it needs to match. In my stash of stuff that I had in my bin for San Diego, I actually had this thrown in there, and I would really love to use this on whatever card I pick here because it has colors that match. However, it doesn't really match what's over here. It's not as bad as, not as bad with this one, but here, no, it doesn't go. So I'm wondering, can I get away with that? Should I treat these as two kind of separate, like two single pages, or try to combine them? I'm just not sure. My point was to kind of show the decorative aspects of this, which is present in all three of those photos, but I'm wondering if I should just kind of work on this as its own and this as its own. I guess part of what will determine that is the card that I find for here, maybe. So maybe that's what I need to do first, and then I can worry about the other embellishments later. I went through a lot of 3x4 cards. I have a bunch here that actually are like this, but then some of you can cut them together. These are from Creative Memories, I believe. And then they also came with this, where again, I could cut them. And I did like some of them, but none of the colors quite went with what I wanted. So I think I'm going to end up with this one. Was this the only one that was in this particular set of stuff that I thought like, oh yeah, I could cut this part off and this would be okay. It's a very, very light pink in the background, which I don't really have here, but it's not too far off from that purple, and it picks up hues that are over here, so I think it's okay. And if I did that, then I could use this puffy sticker and just put it like down here, up here, whatever, and do my journaling around it. So I do like that option. So I think what's going to happen is I am going to treat these as two separate things. This will be kind of on its own over here. This one will be on this side on its own. All right, I have cut down the card, and I think I want to use the puffy sticker down here in this corner. So I can just journal around it, which is awesome. So I'm actually going to just put this on now and hope that I don't screw up the journaling later. Position where I want it here. I think that's pretty good. There we go. All right, so that will be there, and then I have this, and I feel like maybe I shouldn't put anything on this. I really like the way it looks, that you can see the whole thing. I mean, there is some dead space here with just like windows or whatever that I could cover up, but I don't necessarily know that I need it, because with this here, I already have something that works on here. So you know what, for now, actually, I will just put these back in here, and I'll deal, if I can get it in there, and I can deal with the rest of the journaling part later, and then I can focus on this side. For these two photos, I've got this big pink colored pot up here for this plant. I want to bring that in down here because I don't really have that happening, and I would love to cover up this ugly AT&T logo. I really only took the photo because this part of it was so pretty, just to see the different, like Spanish tile type thing happening. So part of it I want, part of it I don't. I think in my stash of embellishments here, or ephemera, you would think that hopefully I could find something in there that would kind of hang from the top and cover this up. So that is my next task. I went through all of my ephemera and I found a couple of pieces that I think might work. And for this one, I like the amount of space it takes up. I would cut off the green at the top. That really does not match, but it would sit on there like that. It would certainly cover the AT&T logo. It would look fine. I'm not crazy about what it says though. It just says hello world. That's kind of boring. So I'm not sure that I'm in love with that. Here I have this one that is, none of these are the exact shade. They're just kind of like as close as I can get. This one would barely cover that up, and then it kind of spans the top of the photo, which I like. And we were taking the scenic route. We could have taken a bus that would have led us like all the way from where we landed pretty much to the hotel, the big famous hotel that's on the island. We chose not to. We chose to only take it part of the way. We got off at a stop where there were some shops and things around, and then we walked from there and just wanted to see what we see. So that works. I've got this one that's just a plain label. I could stamp on it, put an embellishment on it like a puffy sticker or something, but the color certainly works. These are all kind of the same. That certainly would cover up that issue. I actually like the stars on that one. I would leave those and probably again stamp or use a sticker of some type. And then I have this plain one, which I'd probably trim down the top a little bit, maybe like that instead. It's a little bit too long, longer than I would like, but the color's good, so it's an option. So I just need to figure out which of those do I like the best, and then just make my decision and plunk it down on there. All right, so I did put that on there. I attached it. I really like the way it's centered. I like the juxtaposition with this. I did decide to put some mini staples in there just because it felt kind of flat without it. I felt like it needed some kind of other something of visual interest, so I went with that. And then I wanted to see how it looked with the other layout that's going to be next to it. Granted, they don't need to match specifically, like I said, but if they looked good together, great. I do think it actually looks better now that there's more pink here to match with this, so that's good. But I didn't like the arrangement I had at first, where this was on top and this was on bottom. I like this better because I've got an element here that I added and an element here. I just didn't want those across from each other really. So the fact that they're now sort of on a diagonal is much better, much happier with that. But I think that's all I need to do with these. So here are a couple more done for San Diego. Thanks for watching.